The arguments are everywhere. Africans versus African Americans, Caribbeans versus the continent, the online beefs, the stereotypes, the endless comparisons. We call them the Diaspora Wars. But what if I told you these conflicts were not accidental? That they were deliberately built into our history? For generations, enslavers and colonial powers used precise psychological tactics to keep African people divided. These methods were documented, practiced, and refined. And even though the systems that created them have changed, the effects still echo across the modern Black world. When we understand the root, we can finally start building toward unity. Part 1. The real strategies enslavers used. Slave systems across the Americas and the Caribbean had one philosophy. If Black people ever united, slavery would collapse. So, enslavers created division on purpose. They engineered colorism, building a hierarchy that placed lighter-skinned people inside the house and darker-skinned people in the fields. They divided men and women. Black men were framed as threats, while Black women were portrayed as hypersexual. These damaging narratives kept families fragile and trust low. They separated African ethnic groups intentionally. People from Igbo, Akan, Mandinka, Yoruba, and Congo communities were mixed together, ensuring language and cultural barriers made rebellion harder. Finally, they attacked identity at the root, banning names, banning languages, and breaking family lineages. This psychological warfare shaped generations. Part 2. How colonialism continued the division. When African nations came under colonial rule, the same strategy was repeated. European powers used classic divide and rule techniques. They favored one ethnic group over another. They created new tribal categories. They set communities against one another to maintain control. Competition for land and power became tools for manipulation. The damage didn't end with independence. It created long-term cycles of mistrust that persist today. Part 3. How these patterns still show up today. Fast forward to the present. We see the same patterns in modern diaspora conflict. Africans versus African Americans, Caribbeans versus continental Africans, Afro-Latinos versus Black Americans. We see arguments about who is authentic, who works harder, or who has culture. We see colorism, gender wars, online beefs, and blame games. These are not new problems. They are old strategies showing up on new platforms. Whenever we stereotype, compete, or minimize each other, we repeat patterns created by systems that feared our unity. The moment we recognize that pattern, we break it. Part 4. Closing call to action. Unity is not just emotional. It is economic, cultural, and political power. Reclaiming that power begins with understanding how these divisions were built. If you want the deeper breakdown, with historical receipts and a roadmap for healing and unity, the full article is available now on the Black Metrics blog. Tap the link in the bio. Let's rebuild what they tried to divide.